All right, so we had a interesting conversation this morning with Alex, and so I asked his permission if we can share and kind of open this so other people can learn from this experience also, and he said yes. And so we're in a class. We're talking about one thing. What we're talking about? What is the most important part of the class? Solemn meditation is by far the most important part of the class. What is the biggest sign of disrespect to a teacher?
Being late.
Being late for a class. It's a silent way of doing it. You guys were talking about talking back and the body expressions and all this stuff. That stuff's great, but being late is like the really really big thing, right? Anyway, so what happened was Alex was late, right? Then I looked at him and his eyes were red. So I turned around to him instead of punishing him or anything. I said, Alex, everything okay? Are you okay? He goes, yeah, I just had a hard day. So we ended up talking about this whole thing about, because it's not just you, right? Everybody has a hard day. I'm a master of having hard days. We all have our own hard ways, right? But you don't have to tell us what happened because that it's not about that, right?
Yeah.
But how did that feel out with the moment you came in, and what made you come in and just join? Because you could have just sat down and not do anything.
Yeah, I was just feeling just down, and I was like, oh, I kind of just want to just stay in the bathroom and just hide the whole time. But I was like, I'm here to take the class, so I'll come out and I'll take the class.
Good for you. So one of the things we do, we talked about checking in. So where am I? What am I doing? Is it real? And the moment we step on the mat, we become different people as instructors. As we all, I mean, we normal just like everybody else. We want to be treated normal. But when I step on the mat, and for you, when you put your black belt on, you're a different person now, right? It's a
Yeah.
whole different way of being.
Yes.
So we talked about how to leave the outside and keep it inside. And one way is to make sure we do silent meditation, to make sure you focus yourself in before you start your training. Then you check in, which is where am I? What am I doing? Is it real? So, and decide that just because something happened to me today sometimes doesn't mean it has to carry it or for me to carry it for the rest of the day to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Right? And did that help you at all, that conversation?
It did. I mean, I feel like almost every time, like sometimes I'll be like, I don't really want to go to karate, or I'm not really feeling like it. But I do come here like most of the time, and I mean, it's really just, I don't know how to describe it, but I come out of here and I feel just better. I just feel better about everything.
Well, it's not just you. I guess we can kind of relate to that. But the ultimate goal of the culture that I've always wanted to create was I wanted this to be a second home,
Yeah.
right? Like the feeling you have when you're going home. See, there's a feeling of like I'm not
Yes.
gonna be judged. I'm gonna do whatever I can do. I'm loved. I'm accepted, right? Which is really
Yes.
important, right? So how do you feel now? You feel better?
I feel so much better. I mean, I was like coming into this, and I was like, me and my mom weren't getting along so well, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna come out here, and no matter what happens, I'm just gonna be in a bad attitude, and I'm just gonna prove that she was wrong and that I won't feel better after this.
Right.
But I mean, there's nothing I can do. I mean,
Yeah. Well, my experience, and that it with all family members generally, it's never about who's right or who's wrong, right? It's always about how you feel, right? And what can you do to change the way you feel. So I told you about this thing that I've, Sensei Benny told me, there's a few times that he's seen me, okay, more than a few times, that I told Sensei Benny, Sensei, I feel discouraged. I feel discouraged doing what I do and all this stuff. And he told me, he goes, go encourage others. Go encourage others. And by doing that, you're going to feel better.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I asked you to get the SWAT, the 4 or 5 people, and teach them how to do basic for number 5. And you did a great job with them.
Thank you.
Right? You kind of like took over, like, oh, I have a different role now. I got to do, So have you had that experience, you guys, maybe in your personal life when you come in or anything's wrong?
Yeah, I've had a lot of things that happen like that, and through some of the lessons I've learned and some of those experiences, one of the things I learned was that I get to choose how I react to things. And that's one of the things I've always loved about being here, is this is the most beautiful laboratory for making a choice about how you want to feel, right? You can
Yes.
walk through that door and feel terrible, or like, why did I even bother to come? And then 10 minutes later, you can go, this is why I'm here. This is what it was about, right?
Yeah.
But what I realized was it was an opportunity for me to learn I could do that other places too. So this is the safe place to practice.
Yes.
This is the safe laboratory to have a really bad day, and to realize that how I think about my really bad days makes a big difference.
Yeah,
So I congratulate
agree with
you on
Yeah.
being able to do that so soon.
Thank
I
you.
was well into my 40s before I started doing that.
Same here. The value of checking in, you know, and like Mr. Roberts said, it's not just a studio. You can make any place that way. How about you, Abby? Have you had any experience like that? I mean, there's been a few times where I've seen you come in here, maybe not in the best mood, but you stepped on the mat to teach, and you stepped up.
Yeah.
What made a difference for you?
It's just seeing all the other people that you can help when you are in a good mood, and what you can do and what you can change to make it better for everybody else.
Right.
So if I walk onto the mat and I'm angry and I'm upset and I'm having a bad day, I see all the kids looking at me, and like I can either push that onto them, or I can change my mood and give them a good experience and make them happy. So I
There you go.
choose to do that.
Good. And you what do you change? You change your physiology. You change your body language towards them, because you know it's weird because you kind of, when you're sad, you kind of, you know, but if you stand up straight and pull your back, it's kind of hard to be sad,
Yeah.
right? Because your physiology won't allow you, right? Your physical, you know. So you just kind of stand up tall and you go, hey, my past doesn't equal future, right? And when I have disagreements with people, come from love, right? Come from what can I do to make it better? Don't look for who's right, who's wrong. It's never, especially family members and stuff, it's not about that. It's, you know, about having an open relationship where you guys at least can talk about it, you know. You can, as we say, you can disagree, but don't be disagreeable. I mean, don't pout, right? You can disagree and say, hey, I love you, but I disagree with you, right? I don't have to pout about it or upset, you know. Have you ever felt like that, Edlin?
Well, sometimes yes, because when me and my mom get into an argument, she uses that against me and says you can't go to karate.
Right.
And it gets, but I come because I say, please, I'm so sorry. But I'm still upset when I come here, and I still like say hi to you, and I still like talk.
But
to
it
my
makes you feel
friends.
better to come.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
because it's like second home, right?
Right.
So
So, and then how do you tell your mom? How do you say, Mom, I'm going anyway? Is that what you say?
no, I apologize to her, and she says no, then I can't come to karate. What else
Right.
do I do? Walk here. But if she says okay, it's okay, but don't do it again, then I said okay.
There you go. And sometimes if you just let her know how important this is to you.
Yeah, I tell her.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Mom, this is really important to me. It's part of me growing up to be a young lady, and the physical thing is important to me, but I need to be there to train. I need to be there because I feel better. It makes me a better person. You know what I mean? And I know your mom, she was more than understanding. You know what I mean? But it's easier to take a discipline when you know what you did was wrong, right? So if you've done something wrong, you got to truly apologize. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was your case or today or not, but if you've done something, you need to sincerely apologize.
I write Farsi on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and I give it to her, and she reads it, and then I apologize again, and she says it's okay.
There you go. Good. Good. Well, how do you feel?
I feel a lot better.
A lot better.
Yes.
So remember this, right? Because you're a young man. This is going to happen to you for the rest of your life. I like to say that everything is going to be great, but it's not. There's going to be some days up, some days down, but you are in control of your mood. You lose control over your mood, you're in trouble,
Yeah.
or your emotions, right? So I appreciate you. You kind of be vulnerable and open this conversation so others can learn from it, and we keep this together, you know. But if you don't mind, I'll send this copy of this to your mom and your
Not
dad.
at all, go ahead, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and for you to have that also. So thank you, everyone, for your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.